Wingsland S6 out here. It is a nice brisk morning, as you guys can see. Maybe you can see it a little better on this side. There we go. Got the S6 out here. And we're going to keep testing to see what the deal is. I have to do some compass calibrations because I think it's just flying really wonky because the calibrations are way out of whack. It's been forever since it's been flown. We are going to run a screen recorder and see what goes on with the battery today. It's at another full charge. We're going to see if the telemetry gets any better, if I have to reset the unit or what we're going to have to do. So let's give this a shot and we'll start this thing all over from basically scratch and hope for the best. Alright, what's going on there, guys? What's up, what's up? I put this in record mode. As you can see, I currently have 13 satellites. We got 19 yesterday. Maybe this is still just chilling, trying to pick up sats. It's on the ground. I noticed a lot of glitching in the Wi-Fi yesterday that I really didn't like. So I'm trying to see, as you can see, my feet are glitching. I don't know what that's about. Ever since the firmware update, it's been horribly glitching. I can't figure that out for the life of me. It says we have 100% battery. I just performed a calibration. I'm going to go ahead and take off on 13 satellites. Surprised it doesn't have more. And we're going to be just operating it with the phone right now. Hopefully this thing doesn't go absolutely crazy and fly into somebody's house. And let's see if after a couple charges the battery starts to get better. I hate the glitching in the FPV, but let's give this a shot anyways. Up we go. Here it goes. It's very steady for having just done a calibration. Excellent. The optical flow seems to be working. I'm getting a little drifting, and it's kind of going up and down a tad bit. And as you can see, there is glitching in the FPV. I'm already down to 50% battery. The battery is low. Please return to home point, 20% battery. So let's go ahead and land. 10% battery. Land, yes. 0% battery. It should have already fallen out of the sky at 0% battery. So, commit to the landing. We're going to restart it again. I'll see you guys in a second. Let's see what happens to the battery, because it did the same thing to me yesterday, but it still flew for a while after our reset. So let's see if it does it again. Alright guys, as you can see, I just performed a restart, and now it says I have 100% battery again, right back up to 13 satellites. It's the same thing it did to JDS quads yesterday, and now it's doing it to my battery and my unit as well, plus the glitching has been added into the firmware. This is stuff that really needs to be addressed. So now let's see what happens if I take off. Still says I have 100% battery, 13 satellites. Let's get up in the air. I'm going to start a recording. Actually, you know what? We're not going to record. Please confirm to auto takeoff. We're going to leave the camera off just to conserve battery, and we're just going to use the screen recording. So let's get her in the air again. Alright, we're back in the air. Here we go. Still says I have 100% battery. Imagine that. Crazy. It has locked into its position. Let's pull it backwards just a bit here. Send it out just a tad. Alright. 60% battery. Let's see what it's going to level off at. 50% battery. That battery's draining pretty quick. 40% battery. What do you guys think? Think it's going to stay at 40% battery? Let's send it backwards a little ways. We're going to go this way with it though. Please return to home. 14 satellites, 30% battery. Let's bring it in here. Put it over the grass just in case it fails. Let's fly it down to whatever its home point is. So yeah, this battery's junk, man. It's holding pretty steady at 30% battery though. But as you can see, it definitely didn't have low battery when it told me it did earlier. So this is what JDS was going through. It's still hanging out on 30% battery. Interesting. Let's pull it backwards. I'm going to send it way back here if I can. And I'm going to try a return to home and see what it does. It's holding pretty steady at 30%. Let me turn the camera. There we go. Let's try, it's got 14 satellites. Let's try return to home and see if it's going to smack into a tree. Return to home. Yes. Okay, it's going up in the air. Wow, it went really high. flying backwards. I don't know what it's doing. Okay. It's coming back. Here we go. Low flight battery. Please land. Alright. That's weird that it turned backwards to return to home. Never seen anything do that. And now it's landing on its own. I'm going to go ahead and exit that. Yes. We're going to fly this even further down. Let's see how far it goes now. So I'm going to turn this around again. So, by the way, it did pretty well with its return to home. I don't like that it did it backwards. That was really strange. Let's send it back here. And this does have optical flow and sonar, and we are just hanging out on 20% battery. So obviously the telemetry from the battery is totally wrong. Absolutely wrong. It's junk. 20%, 20%, 20%. 20%. Still hanging out on 20%. I'm going to recharge this again and try it again tomorrow. I'm going to give it like 10 charges. We're going to keep going at this. It's still hanging out on 20%. It hasn't budged. The flight battery is low. Please return to home point. Now we have 16 satellites. There we go. Now we're down to 10% battery. Let's bring it in here. And we're going to fly it down until it lands itself. Let's fly her all the way down until she lands herself. I'm going to drop it down a bit so you guys can see me. All the way down. By the way, this thing could have been super cool. There we go. It's landing on its own. Lights are blinking, low battery, 10%. 17 satellites on landing, and I don't even know what our rough flight time was. So it looks like altogether we got about 6 minutes between two flights. Roughly 5 to 6 minutes, which is what I was telling you guys. It's kind of a crap battery. Small props, telemetry is not accurate. It's just weird. Doesn't make sense. However, makes a good little selfie drone because it is very stable. It does have GLONASS, GPS, optical flow, sonar sensors, brushless motors, 4K camera, 13 megapixel 4K camera that records some pretty decent video. So, I don't know, guys. We're going to keep testing this and see what happens. I'm going to release this to Wingsland, and I honestly think it's time to start giving the company a little bit of hell and flaming them a bit. So I have no idea when you first crank it up, putting a fresh battery in it, why it always tells you it's low. And then after that, it starts becoming more normal. I wish there was a voltage. I wish it would tell me what the voltage is that's left. If I could just see the voltage, then I wouldn't have to play the guessing game. That is something they could have added in right at the top. You know, I don't understand. It's a 2S battery, so it would have been, well, it's 7.6 volts, so it may be a little over it's more like an HVAC battery, a high discharge battery is what it is. But they still could have given you a voltage meter. That would have easily made it a lot, rather than trying to deal with the percentage, which is inaccurate. I could just monitor the voltage of the battery to see what my flight time is left. Because it hit 0 and it didn't false land earlier, so I could have flown past 0 on the first go. The percentage is just inaccurate. It's wrong. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. It's frustrating. It's very frustrating, you guys. Drone worship, and I'm out. Toodaloo.